that's the grid voltage, or the 5-volt one. That would be the control grid. So that one I can accept. That one looks kind of cool. I could change it, you know, to whatever. But I'm thinking that one's, you know, smaller. I kind of like that. But if you bring it up, you'll see that it's nice and clean. Control grid seems okay. But just the contrast, look how distorted it looks. Too much contrast. So now I'll clean it up. And I'm reading 5.4, and I'm supposed to get 5 volts. And just in the brightness, brings it down to 4.6. Now this tube here, I don't know about this because naturally we don't have nothing hooked up to it, and I don't know the construction of this tube. But the one I have is, remember, it's Selling Point aluminized picture tube. And what I understand about that is that there's a film of aluminum over the phosphor, covering the phosphor. And you're supposed to get a lot better pictures as far as blacker blacks and whiter whites, just more clear than you would with just a regular phosphor. Not that aluminum film over it. In fact, I did read up on that, and that was a big selling point for GE because of the lot more vivid colors, black and white. Actually, it is color, both black and white, right? Let's face it. Well, anywho, it was a selling point for them, and they were selling the stuff saying, hey, they were telling, you know, to take your picture tube from any manufacturer, you know, as long as it's the right number, and put this one in. And you'll see the difference. And so I'm kind of sold that was a selling point back in the day, but I don't know, I was a young kid then. The yellow one is, let me see, the grid. The blue one, the blue line would be your cathode. Okay, after checking it out on an oscilloscope and everything checked good. So I just did a ringing test on my flyback and my deflection yoke, and they both check good as expected. I mean, that's what so everything is fine. It's just that these electrons, they are, according to my CRT tester, this tube is in good health. It's got to emit, that the cathode's got to emit some electrons to light up that or glow that screen up, and it ain't doing it. It checks for grid and cathode short. You know, checks for the cutout. It checks, you know, everything in this except for possibility of phosphor degrading or degraded, and actually it doesn't test the final anode back there. Just plugged in the set, the picture tube, which I was getting 12,000 volts. So all the voltages are there, B plus. What else did I have in there? Yeah, it checks for cathode and heater shorts. It checks for G1 shorts, and G1 is connected to G3, which G3 is going to be your focus grid. Pin 1, high voltage rectifier plate, that'd be that cap. The other end of the main winding is pin 3. Maybe I'm not making a good contact on that one. Maybe it's, sure looks like it. I think that's the one I resoldered too. Touched up on. There, let's try it now. 52, 53, I doubt it. We'll put it on that one. That's showing it open. How could that be? Yeah, I had it. It's got to be 10 or higher. Well, I got the flyback transformer out of there. The job, naturally. But pin 3, 1, 2, and 3 right here. I tried to solder it, and with no lock on the top. Then I took my soldering iron and I tried to go in here and melt some of this varnish off this wire with my soldering iron. There was no luck. So what I'm going to have to do is desolder that, clean that up, and then push it back in and solder it again. I think that's all it is. I couldn't read it didn't on my ringing test for this, I didn't wasn't getting nothing. I should have got something out of it. I wasn't, and I don't know how that could be, because I'm trying to be very careful with this thing. But yeah, there it is. I'm going to try to repair it. And while I'm at this little clip for the that would be for the cap for the horizontal output. I'm going to change this wire here. It looks like it was poorly soldered anyway. I'm going to use a one with a regular cap on it, like this one. I got some from old TVs. So I'll change that while I'm at it. I got it out of here. But yeah, there's those wires I was mentioning before, how they wrap around there for the coil, like. It's important. But anyway, let me get this reworked and get it back in. Oh crap, I got 3 pieces of housing. I don't know about these housing. I think that it was meant to be where naturally it's high voltage, you want to keep it separated, but also I remember back at the time they had these TVs, and I think maybe the newer ones, they warned about radiation. So I put it in a shield. I'm telling you, it's not nothing that's going to hurt you. It's a real mild type of radiation. It's not going to, unless you're exposed for hours and hours and hours, it's just no issue. All right. So I had to so I see this choke here. I've never did, yoke. Suction yoke. I don't know if you can see that. Right there is where that resistor they had in there was dangling around by just a piece of wire. Well, it didn't harm it. It just kind of got the plastic warm. but it didn't touch the winding, so I'm pretty sure that's even good. I put it on the ringer, and it seemed to be okay. So let me get this work on this. I'm not going to show you on the, because it's going to be, hey, put tape on those speaker wires, and I'll get it back into this case and solder up all my wires and see what we got. So yeah, that's what I'm up against. I got the flyback transformer back into place. Yeah, I was able to sit there and desolder it, scrape off the varnish, and solder it back up. It worked fine. I mean, it worked fine. You know, it reads anyway. I didn't check it on my inductor ringing. I didn't do an inductor ringing test on it. I did change this clip ply, I had it all out of there, and these two resistors. I put for 1 watts, so I put the new ones on there. Got it all back together. Got the yoke all soldered back on because 2 of the leads, actually 3 of them, no, all 4 of them. All 4 of them. But when I had it desoldered and everything, I did check these resistors and they were intolerance. Those are 2200 ohms. So that's fine, that's fine. I'm ready to put it back into its cabinet now. Ready to try it. I got it in my Variac dim bulb tester, or current limit, whatever you'd like to call it. Let me see what kind of voltage we got today. 124, yep, 124.9, 125. Oh well, now let me put this on amps. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna cross my fingers this time. It helps I go over here to the right side where the buttons are. Alright, here we go. It's coming on. Bulb. It's in good shape. Nope. Same old shit. Checking my flyback for the repair I did. Again, it comes from the plate of the high voltage rectifier, which I got that on, and pin 3, that's the primary. I'm not really caring about the value, but I'm getting 11, 10 or more. So that's showing you it's good. It's ringing test is good. Now I'm gonna check all of them as I'm going. There's no way I could check high voltage the high voltage anode because I'd have to go on a plate. I'd have to put a tube socket in there. We'll think about that one. Okay. Then there's a winding. Alright, there's a capacitor in there. But 4 and 5 should read. So we put this one on 3, this one's on 4. Move it off to put it on 4. And what did I say? 4 and 5. Let my thing go. And this is 5. Okay, right there we are. 15. That rate's good. Let's try 5 and 2. 5 and 2. Bring it down here to 2. That's 5 and 2. 16. I'll try 2 and 1, but I don't think so. There's 1. Oh, put this one on 2. My knees are cracking. And 2. Get on there. Come on. I hate these clips. They're so slippery. Can't see it. Two. 27. That was 2 and 1. Which is going up to. I know that deflection looks good. I've read it too many times, and the fact that it is, if that was bad and everything was right, you're still going to get something lighting up here. Say if the vertical winding on that yoke was bad, and now you would have a straight line across. If the horizontal, you'd have a straight line up and down. I'm going to go ahead. I did check that before. I checked that output voltage. Well, I checked. That'd be the screen grid. I had 150 volts, and I got 151. And I don't remember checking that control grid at minus 38. And you can't measure that plate. Do not measure it because it's probably pulsating or spiking in high voltages. But I am not getting whatever. It comes down in there, comes back in there, and it goes to the cathode of the damper tube, and it says do not measure. I'm really getting tired right now of working on this. I mean, I've tried everything. And I'm not finished with it yet. I'm just going to put it on the back burner. I still don't have the picture tube is won't glow. Nothing. You know, I've checked everything as far as I obviously haven't. I'm leaning towards something that I've only read about. I've never really seen it, where the phosphor deteriorates over the years, or other problems that it had went through. But I don't know, I had it on my oscilloscope checking things. I had it on my Sencor Z meter checking the doing a ringing test on the flyback, and I did correct a problem that read good continuity but failed the ringer test, and I corrected that. I'm getting everything. I'm getting like 12,000 volts to the final anode of the picture tube. I'm getting my boost voltage. I'm getting showing the grid, the cathode. Everything is checks out on this, but still ain't working. So I'm going to put this on the, like I said, on back burner and get back to it maybe in a couple of weeks. And I'll start another project because I'm really getting problems with this. So, got that thing, I don't have it up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another project and put this aside. It's going to be a GE radio, AM radio, with a couple other features added to it that you'll probably find interesting. So you might want to watch the next video on that one. But for now, this goes on the back burner, and I'll get back to it eventually, maybe in a couple weeks or something like that. And either I fix it or I don't. I appreciate you watching this series of this Hotpoint TV repair restorations, and so far it's not repaired at all. So I appreciate you watching and hope you got something out of it. Maybe you've seen something that I don't know, but I'm still thinking it's the... I've never had one like this. I mean, I did a color television on my channel where you could see the picture tube going bad because you could see collars, all three collars, red, blue, and green. And as you turn it off, it left a little area in there. It took maybe 30 seconds or longer for it to dissipate and go away. That's just showing the signs of a picture tube going bad. And I've seen them where there's light still left on it after you turn it off, or you know, there's a dot in there and it stays on for a long time and then it goes out. You know, that's showing you signs of a CRT that's going bad. But I've never seen one that just go bad. I read about possible things like phosphor going bad on them, you know, and maybe this is one of them. I don't know. I mean, I'll be back with it another time to determine if it is the phosphor or something I can do. I know I've tried everything right now on my bag of tricks. I use just about every instrument that I could use to check it, and just giving me a hard time. And so I'm gonna go and start another Hotpoint AM radio, like I said, and it's got a couple of features you might like to see. Again, thanks for watching.